My best friend never returned anything she borrowed. Then she learned her lesson in the most fitting way possible. I've known Priya for 9 years and she's wonderful, generous, funny, the first to show up when you're having a bad day. But she has one flaw that has nearly ended our friendship a dozen times. She borrows things and never gives them back, ever. Books, clothes, kitchen gadgets, money, chargers, an entire tent one summer. And it's not occasional. It's everything. Every time, without fail. She genuinely doesn't think it matters. One time she borrowed my grandmother's cake stand for a party and I found it 6 months later at her place with a chip in it. Last spring, she borrowed $300 for a week to cover a bill and simply never mentioned it again. When I asked, she acted like I was being petty. Then there was the big one. My sister was getting married and I'd bought a gorgeous dress for the wedding. Priya asked to borrow it just to try the color and swore she'd return it in 2 days. The morning of the rehearsal, she still had it, wouldn't answer her phone, and I ended up scrambling to buy something off the rack an hour before. She showed up to the wedding wearing my dress. My family noticed. My aunt pulled me aside to ask why I'd let a friend wear the dress I'd told everyone about. I spent the whole reception explaining, so I sat her down at a coffee shop, and of course she showed up having borrowed my umbrella on the way, which she then left on the bus. I told her straight, the borrowing and keeping was wrecking our friendship and making everyone feel taken for granted. She laughed. That's just how I am. I don't keep track of stuff, it's not personal. I told her it feels personal when you're out $300 in a dress. She waved it off. Maybe just don't lend me things if you're going to be weird about it. Then she immediately launched into her boyfriend drama. That's when I realized telling her would never work. I had to show her. I made a group chat without her, the rest of our friends, all equally fed up, and laid out the plan. Over the next month, we'd start borrowing things from Priya and simply not returning them. Nothing valuable, nothing she couldn't replace, just enough to let her feel it. It started small. I borrowed her portable speaker for a picnic and forgot to bring it back. Another friend borrowed her good headphones. Someone borrowed her favorite hoodie. She started noticing. Hey, did you bring my speaker? She'd ask, and I'd say, oh, I'll get it to you soon, in her exact tone. She got annoyed but didn't connect the dots, just complained that everyone was being flaky lately. Then came the real thing. Priya was hosting a big dinner party and asked to borrow serving dishes, a folding table, chairs, and my slow cooker for it, all at once just for the night. Everyone she'd asked said yes. And then, the day before, one by one, we all forgot to bring our stuff, using her exact excuses. I got busy. It slipped my mind. I'll get it to you eventually. The night of her party, she had 18 guests and almost nothing to serve them with. No table, no extra chairs, no slow cooker for the main dish she'd planned around it. She texted the group chat frantically. We all replied casually in no hurry the way she always did. Her party was a disaster, and her guests were unimpressed. But here's where it landed. Her new boyfriend had come to that dinner to meet her friends for the first time. Watching her scramble, watching her friends blow her off exactly the way she blew everyone else off, he apparently asked her later why nobody in her life seemed to take her seriously. It wasn't a great look. The final piece came at her birthday. She'd asked to borrow my nice camera to capture the night. I told her sure, and then, the morning of, I texted that I'd loaned it to someone else who actually gives things back, and asked, all innocence, if that was a problem. She called me, upset. But I asked first. You said I could use it. You can't just give it to someone else. But it's mine, I said gently. I get to decide who uses it and when. You should have planned better. She went quiet, and then I heard it click. Wait, she said slowly. Oh my god, this is what I do. This is exactly what I do to you. To everyone. For the first time in 9 years, she actually apologized. She returned everything the next week. The cake stand, the money, even things I'd forgotten she had. She's not perfect now, but she asks before she borrows, and she brings things back. And when she catches herself slipping, she says, okay, camera lesson. And we both laugh. Turns out some people can't hear the point. They have to feel it.